How does that quote from the Muppets Christmas Carol go?
Ho, 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 ho. Come in and know me better, man.
Anyway, stay tuned and get to know me. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is a video that a few of you have asked when it's coming, and I've actually decided to push it up. This was originally meant to come out in mid-February, and I just thought, you've asked me some questions, why make you wait ages for an answer? So I don't usually upload on a Saturday unless it's for a collaboration, but today is my Disney Q&A. I've got all of the questions in a folder on my phone. There's 28 pictures which will appear at the bottom of the screen when I answer the questions, but some of them are more than one question, so this might be a long video, but let's dive into it. And also, thank you so much to everyone who sent me a question, whether it was down in the comments on YouTube or whether it was on an Instagram story. I really appreciate it because this is a really nice chilled video for me to do. I'm just getting over my cold, it's really lingering, so I wanted something really easy to film today, so thank you. So the first question comes from Nommy Noodles on Instagram. Who is the best character meet you have ever had and why? I should probably say I haven't prepared answers to this. I would still say my interaction with Chip in April 2018. We were in the Plaza Inn in Disneyland. We were just paying for our meal before we got took to our table. And when the server came to take us, Chip took my arm and escorted me to the table. That was something that wasn't planned, wasn't asked for, wasn't expected, and it just made the experience so much nicer. And then Emily Ever After said, why are you so amazing? Which I'm not going to answer because I don't think I am. Just for context, she's one of my best friends, so she's just playing about. Hannah McFarlane 92 asked favourite princess. Now that is always between Belle and Rapunzel. But really, if we go with who I am as a person, I would say Belle. She always sees the best in people, she's a big reader, so I would say my favourite princess is Belle. Kate Disney, who's now changed her Instagram name to Corners of Kate, said, what would be your dream job? So if you guys didn't see, I got a new job, and it's actually a dream come true for me. I am really happy with the environment I'm working in, the work I'm doing, and I don't actually have a dream job. I certainly wouldn't say it's working for Disney because I've had some bad experiences in the past. So yeah, I'm just really happy with my current situation. It's Me Char said, what started off your collection? Any particular plushes? So I've always had a lot of plush. A lot of these have come from my childhood, specifically things like my Monsters Inc. and my Monsters University plushes. They were bought as soon as they were released, so I've had them a very long time. But I'd actually say what started off my plush collection the most was probably getting all 7 of the dwarves from Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs, because that's a real commitment. When you buy 1 or 2, you know that eventually you've got to have all 7, so you really commit to plush collecting when you start collecting those. Diva Mode 1212 said, what was the first Disney item you remember getting or receiving? I really don't know. Where am I looking around to see if I can find it? I'm not going to still have it. When I showed you guys my Christmas plush back in December, there was a Santa Mickey, which I've had since I was very small, but I could not pinpoint when exactly I got it, so I'm not entirely sure I can answer this question properly. I apologise for that, but I'm 25 now, I can't remember the first thing I ever got, to be honest. Emily Ever After came back and said, who is your favourite Geordie? I'd really like to say Disney Find to upset you, but it's you, Emily. Park Pioneer asks, what was your first plush? Or if lots have asked that, what's your earliest Disney memory? This isn't my particular memory, because I know of this just because of the amount of times I've been told it over my life, But when we went to Disneyland Paris for my 3rd birthday, but I was 2 when we got there, I walked straight up to Mickey Mouse on Main Street, grabbed his hand, and we walked off down Main Street, and my mum started crying, and she tells me this story quite frequently, so it's almost become my memory, even though it's not my memory, if that makes sense. And again, for the first plush, I really can't remember what it was. My first plush overall wasn't even Disney. Now we've got some YouTube questions. Disneyland Paris Fan 2006 has a few questions for me. The first one is, what are your favourite things to do in your free time? Okay, so my free time is often taken up with filming and editing and stuff like that. I am going to bring you guys a video about my YouTube process, how I go from idea to finished product. I'm not sure when I'm going to do it though, but I will get to it very soon. So outside of YouTube and work, I would say I love to read. I love to watch comedians because I prefer comedians and comedy films to watching serious things. So I like things that make me laugh. And I'm also a really big fan of bubble baths, if you haven't already got that. What was your favourite Disney toy in your childhood? I know this again from my parents telling me, but I had this beautiful Peter Pan pirate ship which I always played with when I was younger, so that would definitely be what comes to mind. At what age did you have a passion for Disney? So like I said, the first time I went to Disneyland Paris, I was actually 2 at the time, and I've been 13 or 14 times since. So I'd say I was pretty much born with this passion. My parents had been to Disneyland Paris and Walt Disney World before I was even born, so I was sort of raised into loving Disney. Do you like Disney cats or dogs more? That's really difficult, because if you just asked me dogs or cats, I would say dogs, because I actually don't like cats. But I love Oliver from Oliver and Company. But I would say if you added up all the Disney cats I love and all the Disney dogs I love, then it would probably be more Disney dogs. I absolutely love Doug from Up, Nana from Peter Pan, Pluto, obviously. There are a lot of Disney cats I love, but because I'm a dog person, I would definitely say Disney dogs. And then again on YouTube, Crystal Singh has asked me 2 questions. Number 1, who are your top 3 Disney princesses and why? So I've already said Belle, obviously. She's a big reader, she always sees the best in people. Number 2, Rapunzel. She always wants to go on an adventure and she pushes herself out of her comfort zone, which I really love as well. And then the 3rd, I would probably say Moana now, because of how adventurous she is and how brave she is as well. She's a big inspiration to little girls. And then number 2, if you had no choice but to give away one of your entire collections, which would it be? Plushes, figurines, Funko Pops, etc. Well, it obviously wouldn't be my plushes because I'd have nothing, basically. I would say I would probably give up my Funko Pops, and that sounds terrible because I love them. But basically, it really annoys me that I threw away all the boxes, because I really love how people have pop walls where it's just boxes and boxes of pops. So if I gave them all away, hypothetically, I could rebuy them all in the boxes and have them the way I'd like them. So I would give up my Funko Pops. And then I've got 2 questions from Rosie Fairies. Happy 2020 to you too. The first one is, what do you think about the new Minnie Mouse monthly series now that we have roughly seen what it will look like? So this is why I've actually decided to put the Q&A on this particular day, because today is the day that the Minnie monthly series comes out. So I wanted to answer these questions before I go and get anything from the collection, because obviously if I posted a video about what I got and then I did the Q&A, I wouldn't be able to answer these questions. So thank you, Rosie, for this question. It's one of the reasons the Q&A is today. So I am actually really happy. As I mentioned in yesterday's video, I actually called it. I actually said in a live stream that I thought that it was going to be Minnie in different attraction dresses, and I was right, and I'm so happy that I'm right, because that actually to me is better than the Mickey memories. It has the potential to be so much better and so much more widely collected. Like, you could literally just go into the Disney store on the 18th or on the third Saturday of the month if you're in the US, and just pick up that particular Minnie because she's wearing your favourite attractions dress. You don't have to get all 12. I obviously want to get all 12, so wish me all the luck down in the comments that I managed to get Minnie today. But I am actually just hoping to get the plush. I do love everything, especially the pins, but I find when I have to get them online, with Mickey Memories, I actually stopped collecting the pins because the pins were selling out while I was adding the plush to my basket. And if I'd put the pins in my basket first, I would have lost the plush. So since the plush is my priority, I'm only going to get the plush from this collection. And the second question, which I'm really excited to answer, is could you please compare similar rides in Disneyland California and Disneyland Paris? So, for example, Big Thunder Mountain, is it more or less fun? So I haven't actually gone on Disneyland Paris's Big Thunder Mountain yet. It was closed last time we went. So unfortunately I can't compare those. But I would say, because I've been on California's Big Thunder Mountain and Tokyo Disneyland's Big Thunder Mountain, Tokyo Disneyland's is really tame in comparison to Disneyland California's Big Thunder Mountain. The biggest difference between Disneyland in California and Disneyland Paris is their Haunted Mansion. So if you haven't been to Disneyland Paris, Haunted Mansion is actually called Phantom Manor, and it's completely different. It has a completely different story. It has a backstory that ties it to Big Thunder Mountain, because that whole area is called like Thunder Mesa over there. And it's just such an amazing ride. It was closed last time we went, so unfortunately I haven't seen the changes to it. But I could probably do a video for you where I compare these rides in a completely separate video. So guys, if you'd be interested in that, let me know in the comments down below. I have a lot of footage from previous vlogs that I could use to show you the differences. Off the top of my head as well, Snow White, Peter Pan and Pinocchio are all relatively the same, but obviously they are in French in Disneyland Paris. Now back to Instagram questions. This time from the Disney Den. If you could promote one Disney character to a princess, who would it be? Oh, I love this question. The thing I love about Q&As is you don't just get things about you, you also get things that really make you think. I'm going to go a little bit controversial, and I would like to promote Wendy, because I feel like in Peter Pan, Wendy is just sort of delegated to being everybody's mother, when she's actually a really interesting character, especially if you watch Peter Pan 2 as well, which is one of my favourite films. So I would actually promote Wendy to princess, but obviously it would change the whole dynamic of Peter Pan if she was a princess, so I'm clearly speaking hypothetically. Joanne Keane 1981 asks, have you always been into Disney and have you always shared your love openly? I would say yes. Obviously you go through a stage between about 13 and 17 where you just completely act like everything's uncool. Your parents are uncool, your school's uncool, your teachers are uncool, Disney's uncool, all sorts of stuff. But I still went to Disney through my teenage years, and I still posted about it, I still collected stuff, but you know, I went to Disney once wearing completely black because I was going through a phase. So it's one of those things. But yes, I have always been into Disney. I mentioned that a little bit earlier. I've been going to the park since I was 2 years old. Laura's Life says, if you could do any job in the parks, what would it be? So I don't think I'm outgoing enough to be a character. I could probably be a character attendant, but again, I might be a little bit too awkward. I don't think I could work in merchandise because I would just be like, oh, I'm going to buy that at the end of my shift. I'm going to buy that at the end of my shift. And it would end up like that episode of 8 Simple Rules where Bridget actually ends up owing her company money because of how much she's bought from them. Her paycheck is actually a minus figure. So I would probably just want to work on attractions. I really love to know how they work, especially things like Peter Pan's flight. So yeah, I think I'd work in attractions. Park Pioneer asked on Instagram, but they do have a YouTube account, what's your favourite non-Pixar animated film and favourite live action film? Okay, so I have 3 favourite live action films. So the first is Saving Mr. Banks, obviously. The next one is Mary Poppins Returns, and the third one is the new Aladdin. But if you wanted me to pick one, it would be Saving Mr. Banks. And my favourite non-Pixar animated film is really naughty because you knew that I would say something like Up or Monsters Inc. or Coco if I was allowed to say Pixar. But my favourite Disney animated film has always been Oliver and Company. I just love that they rehome this little kitten. My dog's a rescue. I always believe that you should adopt or rescue animals rather than buying one that's been bred for purpose. It's such a lovely story. I love that it's an adaptation of Charles Dickens' Oliver Twist because I'm a big reader. So yeah, Oliver and Company and Saving Mr. Banks. Experience Disney With Me asked, what is your most sentimental plush? Whew. I would say my January Mickey memories. Obviously, we didn't know at the time that it was going to be so popular, but because it had a Walt quote on it, I knew I had to have it. We had no problems getting it, luckily, but there's never ever been a doubt in my mind that I'm not keeping that forever. That Mickey will probably be buried with me. I love it so much. And they also asked, how many Sully things do you own? So I did do a Sully collection video ages and ages ago. It was probably 2018. I think I'm going to make that private at some point and completely start again with my Sully collection, purely because it's going to be so difficult to work out what wasn't in that video and needs to be put in a new video. So that will be coming to you guys very soon, don't worry. Another question from Experience Disney With Me. What is your favourite attraction at Disneyland Paris and Walt Disney World? So Walt Disney World, that's very easy. It's the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. But Disneyland Paris, it would have to be their It's a Small World. It's a Small World is my favourite attraction anyway, but I love the Paris one. Princess Ruby asks, favourite underrated Disney movie? Again, that would be Oliver and Company. Some people haven't even heard of Oliver and Company, yet it's my favourite film, and there's not enough merchandise of it either. Melanie McMillan says, who is your favourite Duffy and Friends in order of all 6 of the characters? Okay, so I need to count out all 6. So there's Duffy, Shelley Mae, Gelatoni, Stella Lou, Cookie Ann, and Olu, isn't there? So I would say my first one would be Gelatoni. You guys know how obsessed I am with Gelatoni. And then Cookie Ann. I don't own anything of Cookie Ann and I really want to. Then Duffy, Shelley Mae, Olu, and then Stella Lou. I'm really sorry, Stella Lou. I didn't really buy anything Stella Lou while we were there, and I am regretting it now and I'm trying to buy one on eBay, but I still need to find Cookie Ann and Olu as well. Disney Emma asked for my Disney bucket list. So I did do this last year for my 25th birthday. It's actually called my 30 Before 30. But mainly, I would love to do the Keys of the Kingdom tour. I'd love to do a Disney cruise. I'd love to go to Alani. The Walt Disney Family Museum is a big one. And I'd love to see Shanghai and Hong Kong Disneyland as well. Corners of Kate, she changed her name by the time I asked for more questions, asked me to rank the Disney parks, top being favourite and bottom being least favourite. So I haven't been to all of them, so I need to completely discard Shanghai and Hong Kong. So I'm going to start from the top. My favourite would be Disneyland in California. My second favourite would be Tokyo Disney Sea. My third favourite would be the Disneyland Park in Disneyland Paris. Fourth would be Disney's California Adventure, Magic Kingdom in Florida, Tokyo Disneyland, Epcot, Animal Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, and then Disneyland Paris's Walt Disney Studios. So as you can tell, I'm not a fan of the Studios parks because they're not actually Studios parks. They're sort of like, we're going to throw in everything that didn't fit in the regular Disneyland park. Obviously, Hollywood Studios has improved since I went because it's got Galaxy's Edge and Toy Story Land now, but I haven't seen those, so my rankings would probably change if I had been to these parks recently. You can sort of tell that my top ones sort of go with what I've seen most recently. But thank you, Kate, for that amazing question. JD X Disney said, what is your favourite Spirit jersey? So it's not actually a parks one, my favourite one. My favourite one is the up one that says, I have just met you and I love you on the back. But I do want to bring you guys a full Spirit jersey collection video. Being Charlie Bray asked, what is your bucket list Disney park and why? I'm going to say Shanghai because it's the newest. Some of the rides there are really advanced, and especially their Pirates of the Caribbean, I believe it's mostly computer generated, so I would really love to go to Shanghai Disneyland. Hannah McFarlane 92 asked, are you going to be collecting the mini monthly? Which again I did address earlier, but yes, I am going to be, fingers crossed. Obviously you can't say for sure you're going to get all of them because of stock levels and stuff like that, but I do hope to get them, which is why I answered the questions today. Disney with Jess asked, who is your favourite princess and why? Again, I already said that, Belle. She always sees the best in people and she's a big reader. Walt This Way asked, favourite Disney soundtrack? Oh, this is really difficult. I absolutely love the live action Aladdin soundtrack. I love the Moana soundtrack. I love the Hercules soundtrack, Beauty and the Beast, Mulan. There are so many I love, but I'd say the one I listen to the most is the Mary Poppins Returns soundtrack. And my final question for this Q&A is, what is your favourite part about Disney? I really love that when you're in a Disney park, you're in sort of a bubble. It's very, very rare that world news hits you, although when we went to Florida, there had been a terrorist attack in France, and I decided to buy the French Mickey pin and I wore that in solidarity. And when I met Belle, she gave me the biggest hug as soon as she saw it because I think she knew what I was doing it for, but as Belle she couldn't say that she knew about it. But normally you are in a big bubble, world news doesn't hit you, drama from work, friends, all that sort of stuff doesn't hit you. I'm not sure whether that's just because you're too busy to check your phone, but I've always felt really, really safe in a Disney park and I'm always guaranteed to have a good time no matter the circumstances. It rained the first day we were in Tokyo Disneyland and we still had a blast. So those are all of my questions for my Q&A. I don't think I've missed anybody, but I really apologise if I have. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, I don't usually post non-collaborations on a Saturday, but there are a few videos that I need to push in because of date-specific things. So for example, today's video, I wanted to get it out before I show you what I got from the new mini monthly series. So I decided to do this video today. I really hope you don't mind. I obviously tell you on Instagram when there are new videos coming anyway, so they aren't a surprise. But if you want to stay up to date with me, please hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so that you're always notified when I've got a new video. You can either get a notification to your YouTube app or you can get an email when I've posted a new video. Either way, you will never miss out. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I will be back on Tuesday for my What I Got for Christmas video. I know it has been long awaited, but I really hope you enjoy it anyway. Thank you so much for all of your questions. I will be doing these every so often, and I will let you know in a previous video when I need the questions. I was originally going to do this video as my anniversary video, as in February my channel hits 2 years old. I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing for that video yet, but it won't be as exciting as a Q&A. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you in Tuesday's video. Bye!